Hey guys, welcome back to Hype RC. In today's video, we have the newest release from Furitek, the Cayman Pro SZK. Now, this thing has a ton of improvements over the original Cayman. So let's go ahead and get this guy over to the bench, see what comes out of the box. Stick around and check it out. All right, guys, let's see what comes out of the box. Got it wrapped up. This thing comes completely wrapped in plastic. That's nice for shipping. Looks like it comes packaged up very well. So we have our Fly Sky remote. So this is super nice. This is one of my favorite remotes, so that ought to work perfect for this rig. And then we have a nice little pamphlet on charging for the batteries, the ESC information, motor information. That's very nice. Then the rig itself. Wow, this is actually really cool looking in person. I'm extremely impressed with that. And looks like we got a little adapter cable for a 3-in-1. And then the rig itself. Let's go ahead and get the plastic off this dude. Man, this is super sharp looking in person. I thought it kind of looked a little wonky online, but man, this is absolutely killer. Look at that. All right, guys, let's take an up close look at the rig. So this is the new 1/24th Cayman Pro SZK. Now this rig only comes in red with this cab forward only body, and it is a hard shell, and it does have LEDs on the front of the vehicle. Now let's go ahead and take a look underneath the hood. This body does hinge back and is connected with magnets on the front. Now it does come with the brand new Furitek Lizard Pro RXF 2-in-1 ESC, which is a huge space saver underneath on this vehicle. It comes with the Mini Stellar transmission, and my favorite, the Mini Komodo brushless motor. This also has the Furitek digital servo on the front. Now this rig does come with oil-filled big bore shocks on all four corners, this carbon fiber chassis, and a 7.5-degree angled aluminum skid plate. It also has these all aluminum high clearance links, and it is a 4-link in the rear and the front as well. On the front of this vehicle, we have an all aluminum portal axle housing, these brass knuckles and brass portal covers, and these aluminum steering links. On the rear of this vehicle, it also has the all aluminum portal axle housing and these brass portal covers as well. Now this does have all metal gears throughout, so the entire drivetrain is super heavy duty. It also has these really nice heavy duty drive shafts, which was something that is a major upgrade from the last Cayman Pro. It also comes with these 1.2 plastic wheels and these extremely hard 60mm tires. I think that's something we're going to have to look at upgrading right out of the box, but all these other upgrades are generally something that you have to purchase and add on to the vehicle down the road. So let's go ahead and get a few batteries charged up and get this guy out for a crawl. So let's get a quick weight on our Cayman Pro SZK. This is sitting very forward biased right out of the box. So we are sitting 57% to the front with 43% to the rear, and then an exact 50-50 left to right. Now this is with the battery installed. I'm extremely impressed with that weight right out of the box. right, guys, I had an absolute blast getting out and running the Cayman Pro SZK. This thing was a ton of fun. The weather was nice enough that we could go out and hit the outdoor course. It's supposed to turn cold again here real soon, so it was just nice to be able to get this out and run it on the rocks, and it performed very well. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros and the cons of this vehicle. So the number one pro for me is absolutely this carbon fiber chassis and that 7.5 degree angled skid. This is a true comp chassis right out of the box. Generally, you have to buy a stock vehicle and then upgrade to that later, and it just comes with that right out of the box. Next is all the aluminum that comes on this rig. So you get aluminum steering links, aluminum high clearance links, and aluminum axle housings on those portals, which is super nice. Again, that's something you generally have to go out and purchase after you buy a stock vehicle. So the fact that they come on this rig right out of the box just saves you a ton of money. And next is all the brass. So you get a little bit of brass on the rear to get that center of gravity weight down low, but then you get even more brass up front, which gives us that 57 degree forward bias and let us hit 55 degrees on the incline board. I was hoping for a little bit more, but I think with some tuning, we can get this thing to crawl a lot better. Next, the oil-filled shocks perform very well. So they're a pro and a con on this. They're a pro because you do go ahead and get 4 oil-filled big bore shocks on it, but that's going to lead us into the cons on this vehicle. So the number one con for me on this vehicle is the wheels and tires. So any RTR you buy, I don't have one that's a 10th scale, 24 scale, or 18th scale that you don't have to replace the factory RTR wheels and tires. So I went ahead and put my Endura comp pin tires on here because this is a comp rig and they perform very well. Now, Endura has a new set out that's 55 millimeters, and I think they might lower the center of gravity on this rig and perform a little bit better than the standard larger comp pin tires, and we'll go ahead and check that out in a future video. The next thing is that I had some shock clearance on the front of this vehicle, so when the body comes down, they actually kind of hit the outer edges of those front shocks, so I had to remove a little bit of material on there to go ahead and free those up. And once I did that, they articulated well, but that's just something that needs to be mentioned. Next was the magnets. I had problems with the magnets from the time I opened the box until my final run with this. They are coming unglued constantly, and I've used, cement, I've used my E6000, and they're kind of a problem. Particularly, I don't care for magnets on a vehicle. I like clips of some kind, a physical latch to go ahead and keep that body in place. And then the last thing on this rig is that I prefer to build my own custom rigs. I like buying them stock. I like building them up, and I like tuning them in. Now, that's just a personal preference for me. So if you're a guy that just wants to go ahead and purchase one that's pretty much built right out of the box, other than the wheels and tires, there's not a whole lot to do on this, So if you prefer just getting one out of the box that's ready to run, ready to go out and hit the course and maybe even compete with some of the top guys in your class, this might be the one for you. And then my favorite thing about this rig in general is the Furitek FuriCar app. I love being able to tune these rigs in with all the adjustability on those FuriCar Fury apps. Plus, the ESC and the motor that Furitek produces are just absolutely awesome, and this one is no different. It performed very well, and I got the throttle curve tuned right in on this vehicle, and it performed very well. So that's one of my favorite things about Furitek in general. So I really like this rig. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 just because I personally prefer to build my rigs up, buy a stock one, and build it up and tune it in as I go. But this one's just an RTR comp rig right out of the box, and it does perform well, and it does save you money in the long run. So if that's something you're interested in, the Cayman Pro SZK is definitely for you. So don't forget to support your local hobby shops. Bash, crawl, repeat. Hit that subscribe and like button for me and ring the bell so you can catch my next video. We'll see you next time.